A sensational move with the ball.
Put it on his hip for just a second.
Right. Great transition defense by Iowa, getting back, eliminating the fast break.
Rob Pelinka has come in from Michigan. Weber sits. Pelinka, this is his second Big Ten start. He had his first earlier in the week against Ohio State and responded with 16 points. Millard can't handle it. Murray gets it, and a whistle underneath. Another Michigan foul. They picked up a bunch in a quick span here. That's against Tally, and they'll shoot a 1-and-1.
Jim, what we're seeing right now, I think, is Iowa's starting to calm down a little bit from that emotion they started this game with, starting to get a lot better shots on the inside. And I think their substitution pattern now is starting to work out a little better.
1-and-1. In the Big Ten, Iowa the best free throw shooting team, and Michigan 11th. Out of the 11.
Shooting almost 71%, and they go to the line. They're kind of like the Dukes of this world. They've had 358 makes, and their opponent had only been to the line 225 times. They're an important part of their offense.
Lead has been trimmed to 3. Iowa very scrappy, but unable to force the turnover on that series.
It is still in that 1-2-2 zone. Tally out on top. He needs to hit a shot. Tally's going to be open out on top.
He finds Pelinka open, way too long. Riley with the rebound and a foul against A.C. Earl. Put Riley on the line for 2. He's their, again, best free throw shooter. For Earl, that's his second 15 foul.
You know, Jim, what's kind of crazy, and we just think back of that Duke-Iowa game. Iowa only went to the foul line 5 times against Duke. It's a team that, you know, the way they play, it's hard to believe.
Their lowest total in years.
Yep.
Lasper back in for Smith. Eric Riley 83% at the line for 2. 24 out of 29. And Looking Bill will come in. Earl with the 2 fouls will sit.
And when you go back to last year, of course, Iowa lost both games to Michigan. And in both of those games, Michigan shot right up about 53%. Iowa down in the 30s. So important for them to start getting some baskets a little bit easier than what they're taking so far.
Steve Fisher told us yesterday about Riley. I've got to find him more time. He's been cheated out of minutes, and it's my fault.
Well, it was interesting in talking to him and to his assistant coaches, talk about playing Riley and Howard and Weber at the same time may be an answer. But Steve Fisher doesn't think so.
Howard missed in the lane. Murray from the corner.
2 straight jumpers.
It's a 2-point game. 22-20 Michigan. Rose had to just save it right in front of us. Iowa now with a chance to tie it. Lasper has it blocked, but he gets it back.
That wasn't the shot that Tom Davis wanted. Getting a lot done during the time they're resting A.C. Earl here, Jim. And where are the points going to come from? Kenyon Murray, he's the only one who's been able to put it up out of this group.
Bartles in the game can shoot the long-range 3, but unable to get open. That's a
solid screen. There's Murray.
That's a 3 for the lead, and a foul on the play. Chance for the rare 4-point play.
And Jim, Murray talked about the players from Michigan State giving him a lot of lip in that ball game just this week about leaving the state of Michigan. Now with his parents here today, he is playing very well against a team that he almost became a teammate of.
From Battle Creek, Michigan, Kenyon Murray. Jackson and King, the 2 Texans, back in for the Wolverines. Pelinka and Tally go out. Murray, kind of interesting, Billy, when we visited with him, he said he visited with Michigan and then signed with Iowa the very next day.
Well, you know, let's be honest. If you're a player of his magnitude and you take a look at 5 freshmen that are starting and you say, hey, I'd like to have some playing time right off the bat.
But that visit would have been in November of '91, yep. Right about the time. when they were just practicing at Michigan, we didn't know exactly what kind of impact the Fab Five would have on college basketball.
No,
Although you kind of had a clue, right?
Right. I think high school players have a better idea than we do sometimes about talent.
Jackson kind of cleared out on the way up. I thought they might call it against him, but instead Webb gets the whistle. His second.
Well, Ray Jackson's pants belie the fact that he is a skywalker. I mean, it looks like he's got a load in him, you know, when he walks around there. But he gets off the ground as well as anybody on this Michigan team. Great vertical leap and almost flushed that last one.
Pat O'Brien coming up with Prudential Securities at the half with a tribute.
I think on Pat's Hoop de Jour show, they ought to see who has the longest pants in college basketball. Jackson would be in the running.
Check out Jalen Rose in practice. He's pretty close, too. Michigan with the 1-point lead. But field goal percentage is pretty high. In fact, look at Michigan, 50%. In Iowa allows only 38% on the season.
Right, and Iowa's shooting 47%. We talked about how well Michigan is doing, holding people down in the 41 percentile with the exception of their Big Ten game against Indiana. So team shooting a little better than expected. Michigan straight man-to-man the whole game. Iowa showing various defenses.
Millard on Weber.
Jim, I like him. He's powerful inside.
Winters missed the easy one. Back to Barnes. He'll use the glass.
That was Millard that kept it alive.
Millard didn't look intimidated at all, making a move on Weber. Rose to Jackson.
Nice job by Jalen Rose. Smart play the way he dished that off.
Ray Jackson was 6.
Pretty good hands by Winters.
Barnes, he likes this one. Tried to save it, but to no avail.
Barnes, a pretty good rebounder, Jim, from the guard position. Good nose for the ball following his shot after misses.
Weber showing a lot of patience on that.
Yep. I don't think...
And he gets it eventually.
Well, Jim, what happened is that Iowa didn't recognize the defense they're in. Millard didn't realize he was supposed to be the man out front. So Michigan wisely took their time, got in good position, and really hit an easy 2.
Weber has 6. And a reach in by Jackson. That'll be number 3 against Ray Jackson.
Ray Jackson, his 3rd personal.
It'll be a 1-and-1 for Iowa.
Here was the 1-2-2 zone, but what happened, Millard wasn't sure of his position in the zone, and when he went out front, Michigan attacked from the backside. Very smart playing by the Michigan club. Here's Voskel in for the first time, Jim.
He has started some games recently during Jackson's absence.
Had some tendonitis problems with his knee. We'll all remember how well he played last year in the Final Four. Really was the catalyst to get Michigan back on track in that Cincinnati game.
Yeah, he came off the bench against the Bearcats with 9 points and 4 rebounds.
Hey, and talking, I saw your picks the other day. You've got the same Final Four back again next year. Hey, I'll tell you, that Cincinnati club, they are doing it on both ends of the floor.
Everyone wants to overlook them, Stephen Still. And when the new poll is released tomorrow, look and see now how last year's Final Four is in the top 6. They found their way back. Weber on the follow.
There was one of the few times you didn't find Iowa properly blocking out from the weak side. Chris Weber left unattended. Doesn't happen often.
30-27 Wolverines.
See, again, Iowa keeps trying to feed down to A.C. Earl with Barnes on the same side of the court. They're doubling down on A.C. Earl. Barnes should be on the other side of the floor, so A.C. could just flip it back out to him for an easy jump shot.
Webb and Smith in for Millard and Glasper.